board has something else, staff have anything, I'll move to a brief period of public comment. I know many of you have been here before, but we'll open it up briefly. It is Saturday. Mr. Gerhardt and others on the board have family commitments because it's Saturday, but I know there may be some concern. Anything else from the board or staff? All right. Mr. Stevenson, yes, keep your voice up.
We have a telephone conference with respect to Ms. Branch's emergency order at 11 o'clock on Monday morning. I know that the director of the board has indicated some concern and wishes to respond to some portion of that motion, and they intend to do so.
That's a concern and another issue for this board. Secretary Bruner has indicated that we should no longer pursue the appeal as a board. She has broken a tie to say that we should no longer pursue the appeal.
I didn't think we were pursuing it to begin with, because the prosecutor was not authorized to.
I understand. We're not pursuing the appeal. But the question is, but you know what? Mr. Stevenson, I think you have. Do you feel that responding as the director wants you to would be pursuing the appeal in some way?
No, this is regarding the motion that Ms. Branch filed in the district court. It has nothing to do with the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. The director has raised several concerns with respect to the motion. I share those concerns. I also would point out that we did file a notice with the district court that this meeting was occurring, and I think a report on what happened today would be beneficial to the district court as well. So I think that those things have to be accomplished.
I have, first of all, absolutely no objection to reporting to the district court as to what happened today. I do have some concerns about things not getting done here that I thought were being done by the staff, and I made those concerns clear to the director. Now, I know that there's a lot of reasons for that, but frankly, I don't know why we still don't have a report back on the 800 and some provisional voters identifying whether or not there were any fatal flaws with those. And we had said get that done a week ago Friday, a week ago yesterday. And when we met on Thursday, we directed the staff to do that. And I don't know if we have a report. Do we?
We should have that report ready by Tuesday. We established the criteria based on the meeting Thursday. We're in the process of reviewing those. We have all the notes pages ready for review for the board members. We have all of the help desk notes that are ready for review by the board members that are in the precincts where people cast provisional ballots in the wrong place.
But part of the question was, have you identified any other provisional ballots that are disqualified for a reason other than voting in the wrong poll?
We'll have that ready on Tuesday.
I would just point out that the board staff did a terrific job of going through more than 11,000 ballots in a 10-day period after the election. It's now been 10 days just about since we asked them to simply tell us whether or not of those 800 plus voters there were any other fatal flaws, and that's not been done. It's taking us longer to do that than it did 10 times as many. So I guess what I'm saying is, while I have no objection to the prosecutor's office representing the board in the conference with Judge DeLocke, because clearly we are a party, there continues to be a significant difference among board members as to what is happening. And the fact that there is that difference needs to be accurately presented to the court. And David, I appreciate that, and I trust you in that regard.
Great. Anything else from staff? Okay. I think, Ms. Cook, you had your hand up first. Go ahead.
I do.
State your name, please.
Maggie Cook, C-O-N. I had a couple of questions on things that I'm not clear on, and I apologize if I'm the only one in the room that's not clear. But when you subpoena the poll workers by certified mail, then when they come to, are they coming to testify under oath? Who devises the questions for them? Will there be public comment on their questions? I don't quite understand where the process is going with that. And my second question, I guess, is, it's also my understanding that voters who voted with the provisional ballot, those that list of voters is not public record and cannot be public record. If you were to bring the voters in, as Mr. Fox suggested, or by sending them questionnaires, would that have to be done then in secret to keep those voters' identities secret? Or would you be releasing their names to the public in conflict with, I forget which one, Skaggs or Nyack or whichever one it was? So I'm really unclear about that. And my third point is more of a concern issue. There you have one of the Democrat staff members on video telling a federal official, a federally elected official, that he didn't care what the precinct or the presiding judge said at a Blue Ash precinct because he hired and paid those judges. And I have a real concern about his impartiality, or I'm not sure what the word is, his impartiality in this process. And it's on video and it's all over YouTube. So it's not a secret. So those are my two questions and my comment.
I'll take a crack at the first question. My motion included a provision consistent with the state statute that we administer an oath. So we will be administering an oath. The next part of that first question was whether there'll be public comment at this point or public questioning of the poll workers. At this point, I don't know that we've made a decision about that. I would assume at this point no, because we do need to move the process along. Again, if some, and there's nothing that I can think of in law that says that the public ought to get to question these individuals. The law says plainly that the board should investigate, elections-related problems, and it doesn't say anything about the public doing so. So I would not anticipate any public comment or questioning of poll workers. That would just be done by the board. Can you help me remember your second question?
Well, no, that was it. And my third comment was just a comment that I have a serious concern about that person's ability to be impartial in this, as I do about a presiding judge that was reported by another presiding judge for voting for voters. Obviously that particular person had an agenda, and I'm not sure, and since she was willing to violate whatever agreement she made with the board as a presiding judge, I'm not sure why I would take anything she had to say under oath at face value.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
One of the questions Ms. Cook raised had to do with contacting voters and the fact that the names and addresses of people who cast a provisional ballot is not something that is publicly available. She was asking about my suggestion to contact voters. I just want to make it clear. What I would advocate was that we, as a board, send a communication to that voter offering them the opportunity voluntarily to come to the board and make comment or to communicate with us in writing, but not in any way compelling them to reveal their identity if they chose not to.
If someone came down and said, I voted provisionally in Forest Park M, would you have a method for determining whether or not that person really did vote provisionally in Forest Park M before you allowed them to relate what they perceive their experience to be?
It's my understanding that we would certainly be able to determine whether or not they cast a provisional ballot in that precinct. I believe we could do that on the staff count.
Next comment, we keep it. Yes, sir. Councilman.
I'm sorry. Ms. Cook, are you equally concerned about the number of Board of Elections staff who contributed to Mr. Williams' campaign?
I'm not aware of that, and that's not my concern. No, you're gonna let me finish.
No, ma'am. You are not in charge here. You are not in charge.
Or is it only some people you're here for?